Edible.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1, Under Locks and Keys. When we last left off, the party emerged from the wreckage of the destroyed Tieshan Express. The monster seemingly gone, and themselves, thankfully, all in one piece. Stopping to lick their wounds, the party came to realize that with the train engine destroyed, they are stranded in the Yavik wilderness, with the only options being heading down either direction of the train tracks on foot, either towards your destination or towards just the nearest station. But negotiating with your allies, you realize that given the potential risk that there may be more such slimes in the city that the train stopped at, your option now has been made to make your way on foot through the Darkwood to the city of Ahdeen. A potentially dangerous trek, as the train's conductor warns you that this area is frequented by Tebadran bandits, who will happily rob the valuable express's cargo and passengers for everything they're worth. A potentially major risk, especially for all of you, given the value of the things you're carrying. Preferring to avoid such problems, the party kept a careful vigil over the express for the night, as the passengers took shelter away from the Yavik cold, with preparations to set out on foot tomorrow. But in the night, as Avaban kept watch, it turns out the tar slime was not as dead as you thought. It had fused with the contents of the blown boiler and crawled its way out of the wreckage to seek vengeance and food. A train car was consumed. Another was blown up. Damage was taken. Blood was shed. But eventually, you all emerge victorious, albeit many of you badly injured. And that is where we will pick back up. Greylog, as you survey your surroundings, thankfully it appears that there were no casualties, aside from, of course, the creature itself, which now lies in a vaguely calcifying puddle of loose tar in the muddy grass of the Tieshan Valley. One of the train cars was completely digested by the creature. The engine itself still lies in pieces up at the front, and in the explosions created by your sorcerer, the secondary passenger car has been blown open, and many of the passengers are panicking and fritting around before they realize that whatever threat you were dealing with has passed. And people begin to step out of the wreckage of passenger car 2 and look in shock at the remains of the slime and, of course, the literally gone passenger car 3.
How many passenger cars are left?
1.5.
And how many people are there?
Here I have my guest list here. Let me pull it up. Counting all of you, there are a total of 40 people.
And how many could visibly fit in a car?
Sorry, I had to sneeze there for a second. Speaking comfortably,
Well, they don't have to be comfortable, but can they all fit?
it's not ideal.
Is it going to be like sardine can situation?
Yeah, the train cars were meant to have about 15 or so people per car.
And
Well,
we
you
have how
said
many people?
40.
about 40.
Yeah, 40.
You said there was 2 train cars? Or was it one and a
One
half?
and a half. Asari blew one half open. The third one got digested. The first one is completely intact.
Well, we could try to cram everyone back into the 1.5. I might be able to push them on the tracks with some of my magic. I'll need to rest so we could do it in the morning. But I
The
think I can do
damaged
it.
one even looked like it could roll.
The damaged one looks like it can at least roll or be pulled, but it's not. It's not going to be comfortable to stay on, and probably is dangerous from a mechanical perspective. But it seems like it's basically functional in terms of the bare bones of what a train is meant to do.
What do you guys think? Should we try it?
Can I get like one of the like train people and be like, do you think that thing would roll?
The Smova seems to be kind of quietly
And
in
not
shock.
take
What's that?
itself apart in the process?
Vesmova seems like she's initially in shock, but she kind of flutters and comes to her senses as you continue to speak to her, and shaking her head to clear it as she pries her eyes away from the wreckage and tar. She kind of looks over the train and bites her lip for a moment. I'm not sure. The engine is likely a lost cause. If your friend is indeed capable of moving this train, I think it may be best if we simply derail the engine and leave it behind. It's dead weight to us now. But if... And she turns to you as well, Grail, although all of you are within earshot of this. But if you are capable of moving the passenger cars and the pit coal carts, we would be most grateful.
If we don't have an engine, do we need the fuel for the engine, really?
As I said, it is my fault that this accident happened. I will need the cargo of coal to compensate the company for the loss of the train. Likely it won't be enough to cover my debts, but it'll at least be enough to get me started.
I can try.
Thank you.
I'm at least willing to give it a good effort.
Thank you.
And it's definitely going to beat walking on foot for most of these people. Who knows? Some of them might be grateful enough to help you pay off some of your debt if they don't actually have to walk.
She gives a small smile, seeming like she's not really certain that that's the case, but at least appreciates you for trying, and looks over all of you with
I bet
some...
these people are probably more likely to add to someone's debt than fix it.
Quite, but that is my burden to bear, not yours. But if you could assist me in getting to civilization, that would be preferable.
I will do my best.
Should we move now, or do you think the threat has passed and we can continue to rest through the night?
We should be able to rest.
Yeah, I think resting would be beneficial for everyone. Right now, it would not be a good time with everyone's nerves being on end.
All right. She turns to address the crowd of passengers that is slowly assembling outside of the train to survey the carnage. All right, everyone. The threat has passed. Our protectors have once again ensured the safety of all aboard. And with any luck, if magic is on our side, we may be able to get all of you to Ahdeen without having to brave the wilds of the Darkwood. Please, everyone, be patient and return to your cabins and rest through the night. We've lost passenger car 3, but it appears there were no casualties. But if everyone would be kind enough to offer your cabins to our guests, I think that is the least we can do for their protection. Any passengers who need aid, We need to work together if we're going to survive out here. It's only a matter of time before the Tebadrians come for us.
That's interesting.
Yeah, if we leave the dead weight of the train, they'll get focused on that. They'll want that at least. Maybe it'll keep them busy.
True. If we leave the cargo train untouched, perhaps they'll be satiated by what they find there. Any possessions that are not vital, leave them behind. Anything valuable will add precious time that the bandits do not come after us. If there's one thing we can count on, is that the Tebadrians will be distracted by their greed. Everyone return to your cabins. The threat has passed. As everyone kind of mumbles amongst themselves, but begins to do as told, you all see the detective looking tired and irritated and looking like some of his wounds have been freshly reopened, stumbles around the side of the car.
He stumbles around the side of the car.
For the slight bit of tar residue. Oh, did I cut out? Hello?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, yeah, there was a internet thing, a hiccup on my end. Better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the last thing I heard was he stumbles around the car.
No problem. As he stumbles around and
So
over.
we did go live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember us talking about it.
Oh.
As he stumbles around and over what little residue is left of passenger car 3, he looks irritated and seeming like some of his wounds were freshly reopened, but otherwise alive. And he approaches all of you with you kind of visibly taking deep breaths as if he's hoping for the gods himself to grant him patience.
So I will say this.
The stream's
Your
not live.
your hiccup wasn't just you.
Oh, well, on the bright side, we caught it, so.
Well, yeah, it's I'm still recording as well, and it should still get it there.
Yeah, so I guess just go ahead and let me know when we're live again, then.
It's reconnecting. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Some part of me is like, don't be a rules lawyer.
What's going on?
It's fine.
No, come on, man. What's going on?
I'm looking at monsters that have high AC.
Yes.
Apparently the female Steedler up there.
Well, I guess, is it a rules thing related to right now?
Kind of, but like I said, I'm just like, eh.
What is it?
Yeah, like, that's still not helpful. Like.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just is sounding more confusing by the minute.
Wild shape can't become a mammoth, essentially, based off what it is.
No, but polymorph can.
Maybe. Also, I also saw interesting. Wild shape allows you to shape gear as well. You can wear gear with polymorph or with wild shape.
Yeah, so I guess just let me know once the stream's reconnected.
Yeah, because I actually did look at the wild shape, and I noticed that as well. Because the CR rating was not the correct level.
Yeah, 1. Sadly, it's only go 1. This is very high, but
yeah, and a mammoth is a CR rating of 6.
Yeah.
But I can cast polymorph and then upcast it. So at least travel like 8 hours or so.
Yeah, better than nothing. But
How many times can you cast it?
Let's see. I can do 3.
Also live again.
4, 5.
Welcome back, everyone. Apologies for the we had a slight technical hiccup.
Are we live again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says end stream now instead of reconnecting. If we start
I'm
the stream,
refreshing and I'm not seeing it on Twitch.
Let me look. I have
But
Twitch.
either way, I have 8 spell slots I can use for polymorph.
Well, in the meantime, while we're trying to get the technical shit sorted, let's
Oh, now
we'll be
it's saying
productive.
reconnecting.
Is your internet doing okay? Because we can hear you okay, but
Yeah, I don't know. As far as I know, it's
Is
fine.
it raining over there?
No.
maybe OBS is being silly.
I just restarted the entire stream. Should be live.
Okay, but so yeah, while we're getting everything sorted, I'll do the catch up once I'm sure we're live. But in the
What's the
meantime,
button for refresh? Is it F5? Yeah, there it is.
but in the meanwhile, while we're getting that situated,
I'm still waiting on it.
I know. Me too.
what is you guys' plan for the night? Do you want to just have somebody take over for Avaben's watch and try to finish out the night with everyone being able to get a long rest?
Here, would I have enough time to like try again at a long? Well, here's the thing, because I technically already long rested.
Yeah, you
didn't
long
I?
rested. You're just injured now, but so yeah, you won't be able to long rest until tomorrow.
Which means I'm gonna be on 3 health until tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, I could heal you before I go to bed for my long rest.
sure.
That way you'll at least
the
get
healers
your...
can heal you, and then we take our long rest, and voila, you're back to good.
Yeah, so let's have a little bit of fun with this.
So I guess yeah, everyone like who wants to try and heal him, go ahead and knock off, and I'll just do a recap of who healed him whenever we get back.
Yeah, we both just be
Okay,
like,
so 6th level cure wounds. Well, actually, you know what? I'll do 6th level heal, and you get 70 health back.
All right, yeah, you recover 70 health from Greylog of Aben.
Okay, hold on. I'm still refreshing the Twitch page.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. You focus on your character.
Yeah.
Austin and I will worry about
How
the
much
stream.
did I heal?
70.
70.
Actually, you know what? Let's go above and beyond. Can I do that? Yes. Let's go above and beyond. Was that like you rolling for that heal? The heal?
Oh no, it's a full out, just straight 70 health.
Okay, I want to make sure, cause the stream's back. But
Okay,
I
yes,
will
yes.
do. I will
Oh, there we
cast
go.
Beacon of Hope and use cure 2 cure wounds at level 3. So do some math here.
Yeah, go ahead and tally that up. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. We had some technical
Also,
issues.
the map on the screen is
Oh, yeah.
heavily
It's
distorted.
a
I
little
know.
stretched.
I know.
Yeah, it's,
I was like, as I put in D&D chat, like, I know how to map.
but yeah, we had some technical issues, but they seem to have been resolved now. As the passengers are calmed and you all consider your options, Greylog, seeing that of Aben as he kind of rejoins the rest of the group.
Also, I believe like I wasn't able to like use healing magic to completely get rid of the previous wound, right?
Yeah, it was still like basically it was clean and not at risk of getting worse at the time, but yeah, you
I just like to imagine that fight just reopened the wound again.
yeah.
But
So
worse.
Greylog and Alfred seeing your Dark Elf's injuries, both of you pump him with healing magic. And Alfred,
Why do you say it like that?
Pump him, man. Just
Yeah, you
overwhelm
sorry.
me.
I'll try
No,
to use.
don't make it worse.
I'll try to use more clean terminology.
Yeah,
I
just
apologize.
slap him, and another one bites the dust.
You insert your hand and fill him up with your energy. In essence.
I think that's actually worse.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't make it worse.
Yeah, he needed to make it worse.
Alfred, how much do you heal him for?
I mean, frankly, I'll heal him for however much he's got left, because with 2 cure wounds, I'll be 54. So, and then I'll just lay on hands the rest.
All right, so 70 plus 54. What does that put you out of Aben?
That puts me at full health.
All right, so yeah, he's good now. All right.
But I will take a watch if needed.
Okay, so Greylog, As you and Alfred heal the ranger, Avaben, your wound finally completely shuts and heals.
Well,
Not
so
a scar left
I
in the
guess if
place.
Aben can finish the final watch then,
All right.
since he
But
already long rested and everything.
yeah, but Greylog does offer to take it in your place if you understandably want to rest, given the circumstances.
And I think after all the healing, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Alright.
He doesn't fight it.
Now, as mentioned, with passenger car 3 gone, you guys will have to bunk up with other passengers, but the conductor did make sure everyone knew to not be ungrateful and offer to share cabins with you.
Do I need to roll perception again?
Yeah, if you're going to keep an actual watch, yes.
Okay. Perception.
I would hope that he would keep an actual watch.
I got. Alright, I rolled a 22, which is my passive, funny enough.
Alright.
So
As the
basically,
rest-
I'm doing the same as I would if I didn't roll.
As all of you prepare to at least try and sort of at least nap and recoup through the rest of the night, Avaben, you kind of just sitting on the now open wreckage of passenger car 2, watch your surroundings for any signs of bandits or scavengers. The passengers start to double up their cabins and manage to leave 2 cabins, one of which is partially occupied, but the rest are open to you guys to use. Avaben, seeing as you're already seeing as you're already going to be awake, the cabin that otherwise wouldn't fit you can be left be.
Also,
So,
how was Ollie doing after that fight? Apparently, they had an issue.
they were on fire briefly, and you can see that her garments have been burned and damaged, but she is otherwise doing okay. A little irritated, but fine.
I don't have mending right now, sadly.
It's all right.
Or prestidigitation. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
That one that Lucian likes to always remind everyone they have.
As you all survey your surroundings, Avaben, you see the rest of the party manage to secure a cabin and settle in for what's left of their rest, while you keep an eye on your surroundings. After the exhaustion of that battle, your gaze is somewhat passive, but thankfully the watch, or what's left of it, is short, and eventually the sun begins to rise. You all get a long rest, with the exception of Avaben, who already got his.
Yeah.
And as the sun rises, the colder air of the wilderness begins to at least warm up to more hospitable levels, albeit still not exactly comfortable. And Avaben, you're disturbed out of your kind of listless watch by activity behind you as doors begin to open and passengers begin to disperse and talk amongst themselves. As the rest of you awaken and head out of your cabin, you can catch worried tones among the passengers as they seem uncertain if all of you are going to be able to get them out of the trek to Ahdeen, and if they're forced to trek it on foot, will they make it?
And I already helped them once, and now they don't have any faith.
To be fair, 2 cars just exploded and 1 got eaten.
Yeah, we're slowly dwindling on cars.
Yeah, like by the time you guys get to Ahdeen, you're just gonna be like one of those little manual crank cars.
It's like by the time we get to Ahdeen, there's gonna be like one cart left, and it's like just the fucking wheels.
We made it!
It's gonna be like that scene in the Sonic movie where he disassembles the truck.
As all of you gather around the busted end of passenger car 2, it is a new day. The immediate threat has passed, but now you must contend with the obstacle in front of you. What would you all like to do?
So the passenger cars and stuff are still connected together, correct?
Yes, thankfully, shockingly, the explosion actually didn't derail the engine. Although the Vesmova seems intent on just ditching it if possible, since it's kind of just useless scrap metal now.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
So he'll go talk with them and to see about getting it disconnected from the cars. So when he polymorphs, he can knock it off the rail.
Okay. All right, so you're heading off to negotiate that with Vesmova. What are the rest of you doing?
And Vaven's gonna check on you all and Ollie.
All right.
I guess I'll just make sure the passengers are are taken care of.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Vaben and Alfred, you head deeper into the passenger cars to search for comrades and check on civilians. And Greylog, you join them, but making your way towards the front to track down Vesmova. Greylog, as you part from the other two, you manage to find the girl currently surveying the cargo hold and supervising as, indeed, passengers are dumping off anything they can afford to lose, as basically a sort of bait for the Tibadrins to slow them down. As she sees you approach, she smooths down her hair and smiles. She seems tired, likely she's been up most of the night, but she gives you a tired smile and... Hello. Were you able to sleep?
Yes, I was able to sleep very well, thank you.
You are far adjusted to these sorts of situations than us. Well, what are you thinking? Are you going to be able to help us?
I should be able to.
All right. Is there anything I can do to help?
I need to see about getting the engine disconnected from the cars so I can get it off the tracks.
Easily done. I'll have Sweepy get on it. Anything else?
That should be it.
All right. Sweepy, I need you to disconnect the primary engine from the pit coal. One of the workers of the train gives a salute and jumps off the cargo cart to head up front and disconnect the engine. And Greylog, you prepare yourself for one of the most thorough animal transformations you've done to yourself.
Yep. Though before he does that, there's one thing he's going to add to that cart that's being left behind.
Okay.
You know that druid staff? He's
Yes.
going to pull it out, take one long last look at it, and he's going to set it down inside of the cart.
All right. Looking at the staff of ancient druidic spirits, harsh and judgmental, expecting the pure neutrality of nature, you lay the presumably valuable artifact down in the cargo cart to be presumably taken by scavengers or bandits when they catch up with you. Meanwhile, Evaben, as you search for your comrades, Alfred, you survey the rest of the passengers. Thankfully, everyone managed to make it through the night, although it was far from a comfortable experience. Many people were forced to sleep on the floor. Many still argued over who would get the beds. And even those who got them weren't exactly comfortable, as, again, the exposure to the elements means it was a cold and potentially unsafe night. Everyone's jittery and tired and irritable, but otherwise okay. Although you know that with all the food being eaten by the slime, everyone's going to have to eat something at some point. That said, Alfred, as you see to the health of the passengers, of Avon, you manage to find Ollie and you all, who are currently occupying a cabin along with two passengers who appear to still be sleeping in. You can see Ollie is kind of having a quiet conversation with you all that stops as you pass through the threshold. And she gives you a smile and leans forward. You all kind of looks to the ground and at the sleeping passengers and does not look to you. But Ollie
Is
gives...
something wrong?
He's all right. Just, being blown up twice in one night tends to tucker a poor boy out. You need something?
I was just seeing how you two were doing.
Good as we can be. Lost one of my favorite cloaks to the fire, but I suppose that's a small price to pay. I got to keep my two favorite idiots. Thanks for clearing out that monster.
Yeah, that was unexpected. But it seems as though the sooner we can get to that forest where we might be able to actually find some animals, the better, because it does dawn on me that there's apparently no food left.
She gives a slow nod. And I'm not exactly familiar with the area. We'll have to take it some time to get our bearings, make sure we don't get lost, don't wander too far. But
We may need to see if there are others who can help. I don't know if the two of us are going to be able to bring in enough to feed 40 people. We're good, but I don't know if we're that good.
she gives you a grin, and actually, things may not be hopeless in that department.
You have a plan?
Not a plan per se. As I said, I'm not exactly an expert on the region, but I'm planning to ask some of the passengers around here who are from here. That asshole you've been talking to, the detective guy, he said he lived here for a while. I'm thinking he probably knows the area, and I'm thinking if hell pigs are native, that would be enough to feed everyone for the entire trip if we can kill just one.
Do they really stretch that much? Like, just out of character question?
Roll survival.
Well, survival. Survival, I get plus 12 to that, but Avaban doesn't have that thing that Caleb does, so, I could still roll like shit. 21.
You are familiar, at least for the most part, with hell pigs. They are native to the forest that you grew up in, and indeed, if you hunt them with arrows so as to not damage the meat, as long as you eat it quickly so that the meat does not rot, the meat tastes frankly awful, but it is sustainable food, and one hell pig would be enough to feed 200 people. That would easily cover this entire trip twice over if you could find and kill one.
I have a feeling there's a catch.
They're probably very big and
They're probably very big and hard to kill with just a bow and arrow.
Oh, also, sorry, my math was slightly off. They can feed 1,000 people. That was actually just an organic mistake on my part. But
Wee little piggy.
yes, there is something of a catch, given your survival check and familiarity with them. The hell pig is ill-tempered and unfriendly. It is, you were often warned, most animals do not hate you when you hunt them. They simply see it as themselves escaping a predator. It is the neutrality of nature. Not so for a hell pig. Hell pigs are legitimately spiteful and hateful creatures. And while they are omnivores like typical pigs, they actually prefer the taste of flesh. And their eyesight is incredible. They are primarily scavengers, but they are not averse to attacking smaller creatures while searching for meals, especially for hunters stumbling into its territory. However, you have heard stories of orcs being able to actually domesticate the things.
Also, I believe. Hang on, let me Yeah, let me. I believe this is the creature you're talking about, right? Because I know of one. I know of one creature that is called Hell Pig.
Gonna check. Yep.
Yeah, those guys.
Yep. 10 feet long, 7 feet tall, and 2,000 pounds of meat. That would be enough to cover easily this entire trip. And thankfully, hell pig meat actually tends to keep for a while, easily long enough to get everyone home.
I'm
But
guessing you're not a pork person, considering you said it was terrible.
yeah, I'm not. I hate the taste of pork. But another problem is that a hell pig is seldom encountered alone. While they don't travel in the huge packs that smaller pigs do, it is not unheard of for them to be traveling in in herds of up to 10 individuals. And while Ollie claims to have actually killed one before, you have not been privy to a successful hell pig hunt. It's not that it's impossible by any means, it's just so dangerous that most hunters will simply seek easier meals. But for her
I'm
part,
guessing, I'm
Ollie keeps
guessing
going.
hell. I'm guessing hell pig hunts aren't very common in our village.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's more of an orc thing, and even then, orcs like the danger that fighting a hell pig poses. Elves, not so much.
Yeah, we got that. We got that limited population growth.
If we can get to the dark wood around nightfall, there's bound to be one of those things stumbling around if they're native here. And we know how to track them. If you want, we can ask the detective if they're native. If they are, we might have a chance out here.
The only thing about hell pigs are they don't. They rarely travel alone, and they are
Yes,
vindictive bastards.
absolutely. But they don't always travel in groups. Besides, if you can take on that thing, and she gestures towards the open part of the train car where you can still see some drying tar outside. What's a pig? What's a little Piggly Wiggly gonna do to us?
You
I like her.
you don't realize how close that take it was to not being the case.
Her brow kind of furrows, and she stands up and puts a hand on your shoulder. She steps away from you all. Right, sorry. But seriously, I think that's probably our best call. We don't know the lay of this area. We don't want to be surprised trying to hunt prey that we don't know. It might be easier to stick with the devil we know, especially given that it's probably our best hunk of meat we're going to get our hands on if they're native here. If not, well, your friend back at the cargo car seems good with animals. Maybe he can summon one or something?
I don't know if you can eat magic animals.
They kind of give a bit of a shrug. Worth a shot.
Well, I think I agree. It might be our best option. We are only 2 people who can really hunt. Otherwise, we'd be chasing down like I don't even know how many. What were the deer called again?
Tyrandrus.
I don't want to imagine how many Tarandras we're gonna have to hunt in one day.
Not to mention finding the things is a nightmare in and of itself, and that's assuming they even live around here.
It'd be even worse if we have to. What's like a small rabbit creature?
Double checking real quick. While you've never hunted one yourself, you have heard of something called a moon hare.
Are those hunted regularly?
No, like I said, you've not been privy to hunting one of those. Although I'll say one you'd be more familiar with would be jackalopes.
Imagine how much. And if we couldn't find those, then we'd have to do the unthinkable thing of killing hundreds of jackalopes.
That's just asking for trouble, if it's even going to be possible. Do you even have enough ammo for that?
Well,
Besides,
if we start getting creative with the explosive ones.
that seems like a good way to let a bunch of meat go to waste. I think the pig's our best option.
Yeah, we gotta hope that is an available option.
Well, I'm gonna go ask the detective to see for myself. You coming?
Very well.
Greylog, do you wish to polymorph?
Is it time?
It's up
Like,
to you.
is everybody ready? He's milking this for what it's worth.
Okay, so in that case, I'll come back to you whenever everyone's done what they want to do. Then, Alfred.
Because he only has a certain amount of spells.
No, yeah, that's fair. I was just checking. Alfred, is there anything you want to do? Again, like I said, so far everyone seems to be doing okay. Just cold and uncomfortable, and a little worried about the food situation. If Greylog's even going to be capable of moving the train. So with that said, is there anything you'd like to do, or are you content to just make sure everybody's safe and then wait for the party to be ready to move?
I would try to reassure the passengers that everything will be fine. Everything will be taken care of.
Roll persuasion. And given that you just defeated a predator that was endangering them, I'll give you advantage.
Yeah. Okay, 15.
You spread the word that everything's going to be fine. The Divine Five have this under control. And while the passengers still seem a little uncertain, your words do at least seem to have a calming effect on them. At the very least, the party has not given them any reason to outright distrust them. And the Dawn steps in to assist you in calming and placating the passengers as you await the rest of your companions. Avaben and Ollie, you managed to track... Oh, sorry, a little burp there. You managed to track down Detective Custard Bath, who is sitting among the wreckage of what was once Train Car 3, smoking a pipe, although he quickly snuffs it as the two of you approach and stands up, seeming like he has recovered from the various wounds he sustained the previous night. Can I help you?
Well, we were thinking about the potential food situation once we get moving.
I was doing much the same.
There's one animal we think might be the ideal one, all circumstances gathered. And we were wondering if you knew if they were around.
Given that it would have to be an animal of considerable size, and it's one you recognize. Given your accent, you're likely Perusian. Let me guess. Hellpig?
Astute as always.
Fundamentally. Yes. In fact, fortune favors us. Hellpigs are indeed native to the Darkwood. The people of Autumnfall have long used them in alchemical recipes. I've even hunted a few myself while living in Ahdeen.
We figured that if just one of them could probably be enough to make this group survive the trip.
He kind of gives a bit of a smirk, and if we had a way to salt the meat, we could probably get them all the way back to the city we started in. An astute plan. But are you capable of killing the creature when we find it?
Well, I've never killed one myself, but considering my friend here has experience dealing with them, at least so she claims, and considering the thing we just killed,
He glances to Ollie, who gives a nod. We have to curb the population in Sherwood Forest every so often. They tend to breed and get out of control. I'm no stranger to killing these things. And luckily, they're easy to distract. If one of us is willing to act as bait, we can try and isolate one from the herd. We just need to kill one, that's all. But the smell of blood's going to attract the rest. We'll either need to lure it very far away or find a way to isolate the scent. That will be for one of you or your companions to figure out. Otherwise, we're going to have a fight on our hands. And I fundamentally hope not, but I have to at least be prepared for the eventuality that you intend to blow up a train car every time something bad happens.
I don't know, maybe we leave them out of it, just in case. I'd hate for this whole forest to get burned down.
For the best.
It's just something that requires more precision than a sledgehammer.
He gives a slow nod. If your friend's capable of getting us to the forest before nightfall, we should be able to accomplish this. But it's not going to be easy. But that will be a problem for the future. For now, we must deal with the problem directly ahead of us. Is there anything else you need assistance with?
I think we have it pretty much figured out for now.
Thanks, Detective. Fundamentally. All right. Does anyone else have any business before Greylog commences his strategy? Okay. Greylog, you're up.
I will cast polymorph on myself, using a fourth level spell slot for now,
Okay.
and turn into a mammoth.
Okay. I'm just taking a hot second to check something, but while I'm doing that,
Because I looked at
what?
the spell and it didn't show that there's any actual restriction.
Oh no, I didn't expect there to be. I actually just need to check if the mammoth is strong enough to do what you're trying to do.
Well, it has a 24 strength mod on it.
So let's translate that to.
It is a huge beast.
And I believe, yeah, generally quadrupedal creatures tend to have more capabilities in the lifting shit department. So with that said,
Maybe you should have tried to like turn into like a giant ant, you know? Ants can apparently carry like a million times their weight or some shit.
All right, it is okay. So um, for each size category above medium, double carrying capacity. So I'm gonna have to do some quick math here. Everyone be patient with me. But okay, so 24 strength score, right?
Correct.
Okay, so initial carrying capacity is strength times 15, and then double that because you are a what size category are you?
Huge.
Medium, I believe. Yeah, it's large and then huge. So double that, and then double that. All right, you'll easily be able to derail the engine at the very least.
Yeah, it's a good start.
You cast polymorph, and Alfred, you hear several passengers audibly gasp and start flocking as you see a mammoth taking hulking steps around the train past the windows before approaching the destroyed engine. And Greylog getting a little bit of a boost. You ram and push. And manage to push over the disconnected and shattered engine. The rest of the train is free to move.
Is it like when I push over? Is it way enough that we can I can push the cars past without colliding?
That actually is a problem. The mammoth is strong enough. If someone is helping you, you'll need someone of considerable strength to assist you. You will not be able to push even one of these cars alone.
Would he be better at pulling?
The pulling and pushing mechanically is the same.
Could I don't know if this is something that I could possibly do. Could I
Be willing to check?
go into my draconic transformation?
I'll
somehow?
need to. I don't
Maybe
even know
we
if
could,
that
like-
affects your strength, but I'll check.
You have polymorph as well, don't you?
I think so.
Yes, you do. I'm looking at your character sheet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll turn into a white mammoth.
Okay.
Maybe we can like get one to pull, one to push.
That'll work. All right, that makes you strong enough to carry one of the cars. You'll have to either leave behind the coal, or everyone else is going to have to walk if you bring the coal with you.
Well, guess we're gonna have to leave the coal because the whole point of this is to not make people walk.
All right. Asari, as you see Greylog pushing over the engine, Greylog, you position yourself behind over the wreckage of passenger car 3 and start to push with your tusks at the wreckage of passenger car 2. Many of the passengers kind of excitedly chitter amongst themselves. However, while you get some leverage, you're just not strong enough to push this thing on your own, especially with two cars. Asari, you kind of crunch the numbers in your head, and you can polymorph, but even with your help, you're only going to be able to get the passenger car out of here. So Vesmova did say she'd prefer the coal be preserved, but it's not a requirement. Obviously, passengers come first. Do you wish to derail the coal cart as well, so that the two of you can combined get this train out of here?
Is there a way I could like put the coal car like off of the tracks just in general?
That is actually a good question. Let me
That
check.
would involve lifting it.
Well, I mean, I've got humongous tusks.
But bear in mind, it's still outside of even a mammoth's capability of lifting. Pushing it over is one thing, but carrying it is
Trains are
another.
actually shockingly easy to knock over.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's true, but they say like a penny can derail a train.
No, yeah, that actually is true.
It'll also flatten the penny very nicely, I've heard.
I bet. So, yeah, sorry, by your estimate, the coal will have to be sacrificed, but you and Greylog combined will be able to move the car comfortably.
No,
between the two of you.
It's
Yeah.
looking like it's a myth. That
Sorry.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're things unrelated. Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, forget the coal and let's just get everybody out of here.
All right. Vesmova seems to come to the same conclusion as she looks at Greylog struggling to push the train, their mammoth form giving these long, honking. And Vesmova looks to the coal cart and then to you.
I gotta go get food.
Go ahead. We're too heavy with the cargo, but even then, that form might not be able to do this. I saw you casting spells. Can you do what he can do?
Yeah, more or less.
Then, as I said, the coal was simply a matter of convenience. You have my permission to discard it. The passengers must come first. Are you willing to help us?
Cool.
Thank you. All right, everyone. We're leaving the pit coal behind. More cargo for the Tevadrons to be slowed down with. Our heroes are going to get us out of here. A cheer goes up among the passengers. And Greylog, you see out of the corner of your eye the detective, kind of looking bored, climb back onto the car before it gets moving. As Asari, you step out and polymorph into a white-furred mammoth.
One small step, and that's all it takes for that detective to go squish. Oops, what was that? Cockroach?
Oopsie. I guess fundamentally it's an easy mistake for someone to make.
I know. These mammoth bodies is very new.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
and mammoths hate it whenever like small shit goes around their feet. So like it's unavoidable, really.
Yeah, it's true.
With a
He should have known better.
with a heave and a pit coal goes tumbling into the mud as Asari derails the coal cart, leaving only passenger cars 1 and 2 behind.
Can I just kick it with my little elephant feet?
Yes, you can. Kicking at the discarded coal. Does anyone among the not polymorph party members have rope that they can spare if Asari is going to pull instead of push? Both of you can push if they don't, but just since that's what you said you wanted to do, you would just need something to pull with.
I have rope.
All right, you willing to contribute it to the cause?
You can also find rope in
Sure.
Asari's bag.
And gray logs. I think we all have like 50 feet of rope.
All right, yeah. So you're willing, Alfred?
Yeah.
All right, Alfred, you tie the Mammothine Asari to passenger car 2. Passenger car 1, and Greylaw gets behind passenger car 2, and with the two of you combined, success. The train begins to move. It's only about as fast as you can walk in your current forms, but with the two of you combined, you're able to comfortably move the train cars.
Yay, it's a musical box on wheels.
How long does polymorph last?
1 hour.
Oh.
At least that's what the spell said.
No, no,
It lasts for
I think I'm picking up shape, wild shape.
a wild shape lasts for 8
or
hours.
potentially true polymorph.
I don't have true polymorph.
Oh, yeah, just like in terms of, like, I think that's what he may have been thinking of.
I don't know. I know true
All right.
polymorphs let you like turn into objects.
All right. So between the two of you, double checking. So basically, would you be willing to use more castings of polymorph to continue this process?
How many
Yes.
would we need? I've only got 3 of that level.
Bare minimum, you would need to get to the Darkwood, as Avaben already mentioned to you guys in the last session that he intends to hunt so that the passengers don't starve. And you know that it's a on foot, which, you know, being a mammoth is still technically being on foot. It's going to be a 2-day trip. Now, if you're willing to basically sprint, you'll exhaust yourself, but you will cover more ground.
Yeah.
All right.
Might as well. The faster we get it done, the better.
Okay.
And I am willing to upcast it.
Okay. How many times can you cast it? Asari can do 3 hours at most, so
I can do 8
all right,
if I upcast.
all right, but remember, yeah, you won't be able to move it alone. So it seems like 3 hours is where we're going to be clocking out.
Well, 3 and then if I can do 8, I can do at least another 2 hours each. I'll cast her then on me.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about that.
So we can do a total of 5 hours in a day.
Okay. So yeah, you have 5 hours of precious mammoth-based locomotion per day of this trip. It's a little shy of how much you would ordinarily travel on foot, but it's better than the passengers who aren't used to traveling, having to brave the wilderness. This is still faster than trying to get these people there on foot. So, if you guys are committed to this plan, that is what we will do.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you knock off every use of polymorph spell slots that you can use if you're willing to use all of them.
Well, I will have one.
Oh, you only have one left.
One left.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, So sorry, you use your 3, and then Greylog, you use the ones required to extend it to 5, and then whatever you have left, you can keep. And here I have my chart here. Let's see how far you're able to make it. In the meantime, Asari and Greylog are pack muling. Alfred and Avaben, is there anything the two of you would like to do as your spellcasters get the train moving?
Trying to think if we should start if it is around food time. So wait, I'm curious. Upcasting aspect. If a spell doesn't imply it has an upcast feature, I can upcast it, but it just does it that whole feature.
I think if it doesn't specify any upcast function, then it just doesn't do anything special, but you can still cast it.
Okay, so I can still cast it at a higher level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, in that case, I could do more than 3.
Yeah, no, like you can, as far as I recall, someone correct me if you know the rules better, but as far as I understand it, even if it doesn't list a unique function of upcasting, you can still do it. It's just, because I've done that on other characters myself before, and nobody's corrected me, so I assume that's allowed.
Oh,
But the
that-
DM sounds like they can go longer though.
Is that a feature of polymorph? Let me check. No, I don't see any upcast changes.
She's saying if she can cast.
Oh, just because she has extra slots. Yeah, sorry. How many? If you're willing to use them, how many extra ones do you get? That might be able to get you a bit further. You'll be able to cross 30 hours in a day with the method you're using.
Yeah, because if you use the same amount as me, we could do eight transformations
Yeah,
in one day. So
I
8 hours.
I can I can do that.
okay.
Since we're just traveling, we're not expecting any fights.
Mm-hmm. All right, and you're willing to push yourself to go faster as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Both of you take a point of exhaustion and deduct any further spell slots to continue just polymorph, 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 polymorph to keep this train moving.
Mhm.
With that being your speed in that case, you're able to clock out even faster. So moving at twice your speed puts you there. You need to cross that much distance. Okay. Sorry, Greylog. Having known each other for as long as you have, a silent understanding passes. Greylog, you push harder, and as sorry as you feel the train nipping at your elephantine heels, you pick up your speed as well. Alfred, your rope strains and stretches as, Avaben, to your shock, the spellcasters are getting the train moving at almost the pace it was moving with the engine.
Yeah, and the spellcasters are just talking in mammoth talk. Just having a nice
Whoa,
old
whoa, whoa, whoa. What did
conversation.
you say about my mother?
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know that language.
And with these combined methods, at this point, the only thing slowing you down is the terrain. And you all charge over the train tracks, the muddy plains, and sooner than later, you see the dark wood on the horizon. True to its name, Avaben, as you and Ollie look at the new surroundings, both of you instantly feeling almost comforted by being back in a forest. The dark wood, once the cars are passed under the canopy, instantly plunges everything into shade. Dim light in all directions. Although, as a dark elf, you, of course, are very comfortable. You leave the train cars and cargo behind as the elephants continue to just charge madly through the forest. Your speed is incredible. For the record, you guys are clocking at 80 miles an hour right now.
Nice.
And sure enough, Avaben, as you look out the back watching the forest pass you by, Ollie kind of leans over the side to look out the front, and you hear her next to you give a Hey, Ave. She looks over the shoulder, but not getting a response, she kind of shrugs. Hey, Al!
Huh?
Good news! I think we don't have to worry about the food situation.
Oh, why is that?
We're here.
Well, I figured food was covered anyways, but if we can figure out a better sort.
She gives you a bright smile and pats Avaben on the shoulder as she passes him. Might still hunt a hell pig while we're here, though.
Yeah.
Hey, once she's gotten a bit of distance from Avaben, she kind of leans towards you and just wanted to say, thanks for, bailing everyone out.
No problem. I mean, let's just make sure everyone is safe while I worry.
Yeah. She looks over her shoulder to make sure Vaben isn't paying attention before looking back to you.
All right, I'm back.
Hello. Can I ask you something, Al?
What is it you?
I need you to promise me something.
Yes. What all the promises I've tend
Who's
to make.
talking?
Ollie is avoiding you and wants to speak with Alfred in private, which she is doing currently.
With all the deals or all the promises I've been making, I need to be careful what I promise.
Right, I guess that's fair.
Could you tell me what your promise is first?
Yeah, I suppose I owe you that much. She worries her lip for a moment. You've never known her to seem this overtly concerned about something, but eventually she elaborates. Vaben, you all and I were talking, and look, I don't know what happened up there with the train blowing up and everything, but whatever happened, Vaben's not taking it well, and you all somehow taking it worse. Vaben wants to leave you all behind on the next adventure, and you all's not taking it well. I know, we both know that this is dangerous, but, and she kind of bites her lip and furrows her brow. You'd think after I spent my entire life taking care of the two of them, he would trust me more. The least I can do is look after his boy toy. She kind of gives a bit of a smirk. Just promise me that you won't leave us behind. I don't care how much Vaben kicks and screams. This is our fight too. These people you're fighting, they came after our homes. I don't know if Vaben thinks that they're just going to leave us alone, but being with you is probably the safest place we can be. And even if it wasn't, we knew what we signed up for. We knew that we were taking a risk. If he gets to make that choice, I think it's only fair we get to as well. So just promise me that no matter what he says, you won't leave us. I know it's asking a lot. You're trying to protect everyone, and I don't know the details, but I know you've got something going on with family. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah. There's family on this train as we speak, but and I do wish their safety mode never. But you know they're capable of. Frankly, I think they're more skilled than I am. But
I don't know about that, but they certainly seem definitely capable. Although, and she kind of smiles a little bit guiltily. Not the brightest crayons in the tool drawer, are they?
they're my brothers, so
Yeah, I suppose that's what brothers are. They're dumb, but you love them.
Are their levels not reflective of their mirror counterparts?
They are, but remember, they are the opposite of what Caleb and Zephyr pride in themselves. Both of you value your strategic cunning highly, so they came out stupid.
Mhm.
came out of the womb. Oh yes.
So what are they, rogues who don't fit their archetype very well?
Pretty much. Zephyr couldn't, or rather, Riffiz couldn't he couldn't sneak his way out of a cardboard bag, and Balak's about as dangerous as of an assassin as a paperclip.
So it's like
Don't underestimate those paper clips.
they got levels, but they suck at what they do.
Yep.
Yeah, essentially. They have their skills, but they just aren't very good at thieving or killing.
Mm-hmm.
So in Mirror World is just full of incompetency.
Either incompetency or spite, mostly.
Yeah.
Most people tend to pride either their appearance, their intelligence, or their kindness. So mirror world counterparts tend to lack those traits.
But I mean, there
So
are
all
people.
the Reapers did have one good thing on their part. They're good at still being sneaky at giving you stuff,
Yeah.
maybe not taking it.
Yeah, and they are incredibly patient.
And maybe
Are
they're
you
actually
saying that
monks.
Caleb and Zephyr are impatient?
Well, I was referring to Reefus
Zephyr.
specifically,
Yeah,
but
Zephyr has been patient.
Yeah, maybe they should have been monks with that patient defense. Ah.
nice. Yeah, take out the D, so he's a patient fence. But I know it's asking a lot, but I know I'm not going to be able to talk Avaben out of it myself. So, will you help me?
Not sure how much I can help in that regard. Your family stepping in seems out of line, but
She kind of looks to the side and crosses her arms. Yeah, I know we're not. I know we're different. It's just.
different. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Just meaning that this is between you and
So I'm about to
between
send
y'all.
you a message, Matthew.
Okie doke.
This is between y'all, but you coming along these adventures, while yes, I do hope your safety. Come along, I will protect you where I can. My shield is always in your corner.
Thank you. Just, if worse comes to worse, she kind of gives you a smirk. Can we at least, smuggle ourselves into the cargo hold or something? It's not like he's going to throw us overboard if we are already there.
Even if I said no, would that change anything?
She kind of gives a smile and, well, it's hard to. He's a hard elf to hide from. So, actually, yes.
Though I'm not very perceptive myself, so changing it would be.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit. But, well, if that's all you're able to do, then I'll take it. Thanks anyway. And again, thanks for, saving our skins. I hope you find whatever you're looking for here.
Is there something wrong?
Yeah, I was just letting Al know that we're getting close to Ahdeen. Luckily, I guess we won't have to go hunting after all. Although, while you guys find this thing you're looking for, I figure I can go hunting in the meantime.
Or does she have a solution to the food problem?
You were gone when this was revealed, but with Asari and Greylog sprinting at top mammoth speed and managing to draw it out over 8 hours, the sun is starting to set now, but she looked out the window and noticed you're actually getting close to Ahdeen, so you won't need to worry about feeding the passengers. They're about to be dropped off in a town.
Interesting. I guess that simplifies things for us.
Quite a bit, yeah. Remind me to thank the Britannian for this.
You have no idea how much it pains me to hear you say that.
She gives you a grin and kind of elbows you playfully. What did I tell you? You saw how much the other guy was struggling. Wasn't for her, we'd still be stuck out there.
So it seems. Just hearing you say I gotta thank a Britannian. Not necessarily her. I've thanked her at least once, I think.
She kind of rolls her eyes and gives you another smirk. How many times does a Bretonnian have to save your life before you call it square?
Oh, I don't consider there to be too much problem with that Bretonnian specifically. Doesn't change what most of them are doing.
She kind of gives a bit of a shrug. Whatever. Once we get there, I'm going to head off into the woods. I'm assuming you and your friends are going treasure hunting?
In a sense.
Well, I hope you find it. Sorry, you're the first to see it. The dark wood begins to thin, and given that the sun has set, the dim light of the dark wood gives way to the darkness of open night. As you can already see, villagers are beginning to
Is it the
curiously.
detective Bretonnian?
No, he's
Oh,
as far as
okay.
you can tell, he's Yavik.
Oh, I thought because of his accent. Okay.
Yeah, he's as far as you can tell, the only indication of his origin he's given is that he lived in Ahdeen for a while. You don't know anything beyond that.
Yeah, I was going to ask how are the people of the city reacting to two mammoths pushing a
Yeah.
train cart.
As you all get closer, those of you pushing the car indeed see that they don't seem necessarily shocked. Mammoths are native to the region, so they're not necessarily shocked by the mammoth specifically, although granted a white furred one is admittedly unique. More that you're dragging and pushing the wreckage of what was once a luxurious express train. And the villagers of Ahdeen begin to curiously approach as you all pull into the open station platform. And finally, exhaustion overtaking the two of you, you kind of plop. And after 8 hours of pulling, you have safely gotten the passengers to civilization.
Ugh. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get a sorry, and then let's go find an inn or a nice tavern. I think we've earned it.
I could do with a really, really nice hot bath.
Oh, part of the package, definitely.
Fundamentally, if I may make a suggestion.
He sounds a lot more robotic this time around.
I'll turn to custard bath.
Custard bitch.
I'm all ears.
His expression is still kind of neutral, but Alfred and Avaben, as the party regathers and the passengers begin to leave their cabins and gather their things, the detective gives a sigh and looks to Don Campan, who makes eye contact with him and approaches. He smiles friendly to all of you. Let me be the first to say, thanks to all of you so much for solving this dilemma we found ourselves in. Normally, when you say it's a train wreck of a situation, you think it's beyond salvaging, but you guys are expert salvagers, and I'll be sure to reward you for all this. And, my apologies, detective. What was it you needed? Yeah, can we drop the charade now? I think they've done enough. I suppose that is more than fair.
Excuse me.
Well, we
Yeah.
all knew we were going to end up having to die to get to the underworld or something.
Oh,
I'm guessing he's got something to do with this.
do not misunderstand me. I apologize for any confusion. I have no intention of hurting you. Detective, do you want to explain? I'd be happy to. He takes out his pipe and looks over all of you. My real name is Dr. Shernatural.
Does this sound familiar?
Roll history.
Does it sound familiar to Vaben? I doubt it would, but might as well.
Roll history.
I don't. What is the DBR? Don't fuck.
I seriously doubt it for myself, but
Roll
I'm
history.
gonna
Oh,
check.
I did not roll well because it's D&D Beyond 13.
13.
I have a
Can-
-1 to my history.
All right, Vaben.
what do I get for? Okay, I'm +0 on intelligence. 1.
Nat 1 or
it sounds like
Yeah.
that. I was like,
okay.
I have a +0 to intelligence, so
Okay.
Like, I can one up you on that one though. As a
you
nat
got a
one,
-1.
I have a -1, but I rolled a nat 1, so it
So
is
0.
0.
yeah, 0.
Rolled a nat 5, so.
All right.
Man,
Okay.
there ain't no nat 5.
Vaben, Greylog, you do recognize that name. He's a vampire.
Yes, immortality.
Oh,
Okay, what is he really?
Sorry, you remember that name was written on the coffin you found in the cargo hold on the ship back on the island. He owns the museum where the Book of Time is being held.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense.
I guess that's why he had a coffin.
I am something of a collector. Being a detective is, what's the word, a side hustle. It gives me an excuse to travel, collect things, see things. You learn a lot seeing the world the way people like us do. I needed to make sure you were worthy of what I'm about to give you. I apologize for the ruse, but you've all proved fundamentally competent.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I should feel worse about that coming from that,
Yeah,
or
you
if I
were a
should
little
actually be
abrasive.
impressed.
He gives a bit of a shrug. You may think whatever you wish. I am willing to offer you my museum for all of us to rest and recoup. Do not touch my things, but my facilities are yours. And then once you feel ready, I will prepare the ritual to bestow what you're looking for onto you.
Do you
So do we
have a
still have
good
to go to
bath?
the other side?
Unfortunately, but
How did you manage to stash it there?
he gives a smile. You'll see.
And
I
do you have a good bath or something?
Yeah, is it like a necromancer? Please tell me it's not a necromancer.
have no intention of getting necromancers involved. My methods are more civilized.
I'll kind of shoot a look to Anna.
Anna kind of quirks a brow and mouths to you, Plan B.
I just kind of shake my head.
She kind of furrows her brow, seeming like she still doesn't really trust the detective, quote unquote, but she patiently listens as your allies begin to accrue around all of you. My museum used to be a church. The facilities should still work. You may have to take turns, and I
Isn't
don't
a
know if
church a specific thing?
beg pardon.
I was just saying that out of character. Like, I'm pretty sure church is specific to to one religion.
Well, the temple then. I'm more just getting it across, like what kind of place this is.
Fair enough.
And you're free to observe the museum pieces as long as you don't touch them. And while you all rest and clean up, I will prepare the ritual. But with the Dawn's permission, I will be honest with all of you. Permission granted, Dr. Shanatral. It's an honor, sir. In order to get the Book of Time, one of you are going to have to sacrifice yourselves. I will bring you back, and you will bring the book with you. But you will be dead nonetheless, potentially for several minutes.
I'm alright
Well,
with that.
yeah, I've died before.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Wouldn't that create a problem?
It would for him, but not for me.
Did he ever tell us that he was told he was given one more chance?
I don't know if he told you that specifically. He did tell you about his debt to Hela, but
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Hela tell him that she's gonna do it? She was gonna do it one more time.
yeah, basically she's not gonna keep giving him freebies.
Yeah, let's not let you do it. Let me do it. I mean,
It doesn't matter who does it, as long as it's one of you.
So one of us goes in, grabs this, and then
leave?
adventure over.
That's the idea.
Why do I have a feeling it's not going to be that simple?
Oh, it's almost fundamentally certainly not, but he gives a bit of a shrug. I don't have any better suggestions for you.
And
I'll just shift my eyes back to Anna and give her a eyebrow raise.
Anna slowly shakes her head side to side.
All right. How do we get started?
He gives a smile. It's a bit crooked and stilted, but does seem genuine otherwise. Follow me.
what if we added necromancy into the mix?
Beg pardon?
Well, we know apparently my brothers have gotten contacted with I guess they are calling them necromancer. Just we were thinking of it being a plan B for this whole scenario since we didn't at the moment trust our dear Don friend because secrets are being withheld.
And you have my sincerest apologies for that, friend. I understand your motivations, and if you want to use your methods, then I will not begrudge you that. After all, you have proven yourselves more than capable planners and doers. I'm sure whatever plan you come up with will be very intelligent, and you'll cover all the bases. Dot your I's and cross your T's, the whole shebang. But I do want to help you if I can.
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm thinking sending one
might-
person would be seems like it could cause a risk. What if you combine both your method and the necromancy's method?
Necromancy is an imperfect science. This
Well-
is a perfect science.
It
What
might help if you actually
form of
tell us.
revival are you using?
It might. I was going to say it might help if you'd actually tell us exactly what you're going to do.
I'm certainly willing. I've been given permission to speak freely now. Gather your things and bring along whoever you want to bring. I'll explain on the way.
Did he hear my question?
Sorry, repeat yourself.
What kind of revival magic will you be using?
He gives you a wide grin. That's the thing. I'm not.
Yeah, the Dawn is.
I'm not either. We're not
Science?
going.
No. Not a great start to this plan.
He snaps his fingers and points to you, Greylog. Bingo.
What did he say?
It's not magic, it's science.
As far as I've understood, science has never been able to do that.
Most scientists aren't me. Raising the dead is fundamentally easy.
And can I maybe do like an
Intelligence.
I don't know what kind of check it would be
Well,
like.
what are you trying to figure out?
Like, has this ever been even considered possible for
History.
science?
Roll a nature check.
Nature check. Okay. What do I get on nature? Oh, I get a +10, so 22.
You have heard it being a very theoretical science. You've never heard of it being done successfully, but it is considered to be, in theory, possible.
I feel like it would have been I feel like you might have been nice to have more of the guarantee that magic can give.
Magic has side effects.
Yeah,
Your
he's
friend
right
would
about
attest to
that. And not all of them good side effects either.
Quite.
Yeah, well, the side effect of failure is being dead. I think any minor side effect is better than that.
Mm,
He kind of gives a sigh.
revival's not always the best. Let's just say I've got an eternal, service debt to pay later on.
Does the name Dracula mean anything to any of you?
It's
I'm
just
pretty sure.
isn't that the story?
All right, okay, one person at a time. Avaben, go ahead.
If I remember, does Avaben know the history of Dracula's, crusade in Perugia?
Roll
I
history.
know he wasn't born yet, but his people probably were.
Yeah.
He was among elves.
Roll history. Sorry. You're muted, by the way. I guess they had to go. Oh,
Sorry, no. No, I'm having some problems on my end. I guess I'll do a history roll as well, if that's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I rolled a 14.
14 from you.
It's like I'm sure among his people there are people alive who remember it.
Actually, yeah.
D&D Beyond is kicking my ass today. 10.
Okay. Sorry, the name just doesn't really strike any particular bell with you. It just is kind of like a vague, meaningless name. Avaben, 10 years ago, or I think it's about 11 or 12 now.
Oh, really? It was that soon?
Roughly a decade ago.
Yeah, basically a little over a decade ago, a man by the name of Vlad Dracula launched a crusade across the south of Perugia to conquer the continent. And he almost succeeded. He fought his way through Sherwood, killing every elf who stood in his way. He was only stopped whenever he reached the southern borders of Britannia, who held the line against his armies, and as far as you had heard, killed him.
I am Perusian, so I am familiar with him.
I assumed you would be, especially given your heritage. To the rest of you who seem confused, Vlad Dracula was a Perusian conqueror from the land of Mantegna, if I recall. He attempted to conquer the continent of Perugia over a decade ago. He was a powerful mage, dabbled in dark magic, an adventurer in his youth. But for our purposes, he was also a genius and an alchemist. He managed to create a machine that could revive him from the dead. And it worked.
Didn't he turn into a vampire?
But that was not due to the resurrection process. That was, as I said, a consequence of dabbling in the dark arts. But his machine works, and I have it.
How does it work?
Yeah, have you?
I haven't used it myself, but I do know the process involved. It's expensive and complicated, but manageable, especially for someone as fundamentally brilliant as myself.
What does it do?
Vlad Dracula's coffin was engineered to organically revive the dead. he managed to reduce the soul down to its alchemical components.
So
And,
what could equal the value of a human soul?
well, he managed to
I
discover
was
the answer to
joking.
that. Oh.
I wasn't. I really gotta
Oh,
give
no.
Aben a distinct voice because people can't tell when I'm joking.
Well, it's also because I stay in character for the bulk of the session, so I just assume everything's in character.
Yeah, I thought he was going to like pull some sort of Full Metal Alchemist shit.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
Yeah, no, I got the reference.
And apparently, the scientific value of a human soul, or a soul of any sort, is as follows: 1 gallon of holy water, 1 gallon of virgin's blood, 25,000 gold's worth of adamantine powder, 1 powdered unicorn horn, and a flawless foot-diameter ruby sphere. We will put those in the coffin alongside whichever one of you is willing to sacrifice yourself.
So who did you have to kill for the blood?
There, you can draw blood without killing someone. He gives a smile. I am a doctor, remember.
Any of us here are virgin?
Did he actually just say that?
Yeah.
Proudly.
Because he was because he is indeed a virgin as well. He's just trying to see who all volunteers, because I don't at least tell him, hey, there's others. Those that don't volunteer, what is it? He knows.
Yeah, he knows. Once our chosen gatherer is in the coffin with the ingredients, I will slit your throat. You'll bleed out. And after a few minutes, I will activate the coffin, and it will resurrect you. But while you're in the afterlife, you can secure the book.
Their blood won't interfere with the process?
He shakes his head. Quite the opposite. The blood of the body put within is what sustains the machine.
Alright, you got directions where to get it?
I've already gathered everything. I just need to prepare the ritual.
That's
As I
fine.
I
said,
think he meant the book.
I need to go to sleep anyway. I'm exhausted, so just wake me up when it's ready to go.
I certainly will.
How will they find the
How do
book?
they find the book? Yeah.
He's quiet for a moment as he kind of thinks before speaking kind of carefully. The complete chronology of time can only be given to you by a god. So, we need to send you to meet one.
Alright.
I thought the whole point of this whole thing was that these items weren't supposed to be in the possession of the gods.
He gives you a bit of a smirk, and at this, the Dawn actually raises a hand and speaks up. I suppose, in the interest of fairness, the good doctor's been kind enough to be very honest with all of you, and you have given me no reason to distrust you. You have been very loyal and helpful allies. He licks his lips and thinks for a moment before...
It can be a half god, can't it?
Oh, well, you're on the right track, son, but... The gods gave the chronology to me. I get to decide who has it, but I'd rather not do it without asking permission. So if you would be kind enough to inform the whichever god you go to meet of the situation, I'm sure they would be more than reasonable and understanding. But it is a great sacrifice.
Alright.
So which god is she going to be meeting? I guess since death and she's from Perugia, is she going to meet Hades?
That depends. He turns to you, sorry. Are you religious, Dr. Ko?
I was raised religious, but I mean, I'm an archaeologist. What do you think?
He gives a bit of a smirk at this, and I've met some superstitious archaeologists in my day.
I'm a real archaeologist.
In that case, you're going to the worst place you could possibly go, and the place you're least likely to escape from.
All right.
Bliss.
Interesting.
Oh, you lucky person.
You can see almost everyone, especially Anna, pales whenever he drops the name Bliss, and seems horrified.
Yeah, she kind of like crosses her arms. Am I familiar with this terminology?
Roll religion.
D&D Beyond has been fucking me tonight, so let's continue that.
Out of
Where's your
curiosity,
actual
Matthew,
dice?
I'm
would
like dead because reasons. Anyway, natural 3, so 6.
Alright. Evaben?
wouldn't Avaven's adoptive parents have been like real religious, whatever that means for elves?
Yes, in your case, you worship the Asir. So you would go to Helheim when you died.
Okay. Would
Hmm.
does Avaven know what bliss is?
Roll religion.
Probably not. I don't think. Yeah, I get +0 to that, so
Well, you might get lucky.
8.
You did not get lucky. Sorry, Evaben, you have no idea what the big deal is. Bliss sounds pretty damn nice.
Yeah, I mean, for all
Yeah, it's in the name after all.
after all we've been through lately, it actually sounds quite nice.
You have no idea what bliss is, do you?
No.
During the conflict of the gods, part of the reason we're in this mess to begin with, the deities that rebelled were punished, including one whose name has been lost to history, stricken from the record by the gods themselves. Now he only goes by one name, the Archangel. His purpose among the lesser deities is to punish the impious. If you do not properly worship a god of your choice, he instead will take your soul. And he seldom gives up that what he's taken.
So
It's not like I don't believe in. It's not like I don't believe in gods. I just don't worship them. Isn't that different?
It's the same thing.
He's an atheist god.
Yes, essentially, yeah. What he's basically saying is, if you don't worship a god of death of any kind, the Archangel is a religion-neutral deity that takes your soul, taking you to a place called bliss, which ordinarily wouldn't be that bad, except he was a rebellious deity who hates the gods, and from what the expressions of your companions are implying, likely takes his anger out on those who enter his domain. And the detective does not seem confident that the Archangel would give up your soul once he's taken it.
I mean, I believe that there are gods of death, of course, Hades and all of
But
that.
it's not about belief, it's about actually worshipping a god.
I see.
Piety.
I haven't done it in some time, but I still, and I'll pull out my, have this.
Who here is religious?
Well,
I
my
am.
people worship the, was it Aesir?
Yeah, the Asir.
The Aesir.
Ah. Raised by elves. That makes sense. In that case, if you do the process, you will enter Helheim.
What's Helheim like, Matthew? Does Avaven know the stories?
Roll religion.
If I remember, it's cold
Oh, hey, I
and
guess if I
icy.
even, I guess, I guess his parents have talked a lot about it because natural 20.
Yes. While Helheim is only one potential afterlife you can go to in your religion, it is the most frequent one. And given that you're literally going to lay down in a coffin and have your throat slit, you're not exactly dying in battle and going to Valhalla. Helheim is a afterlife domain primarily defined by its duality. The goddess, the daughter of Loki, Hela, is said to be a literally two-faced deity. On one side, cold, unforgiving death to punish the wicked. On one side, a beautiful woman who pampers the good.
Oh, it's her.
How do they decide which one, which one you are? Like what?
Well, like what
Don't
basically defines good or bad for them?
Yeah.
and just don't piss her off and don't make any deals.
Well, that's a Greylog Orchin special. What by how you were raised, Avaben? No, but nobody in this party is gonna get on Helheim's bad side. You have to do literally the most despicable shit imaginable to go there. Like the worst things you can think of doing to other people, you would have to do that.
Basically, you'd have to actively be trying to be bad.
Yeah, you have to be an actively terrible person to go to the dark side of Helheim. Most tend to go on her good side and spend the rest of their life being pampered by the beautiful Hela.
Well, I guess Helheim would be pretty easy, maybe.
And actually ideal for our situation. He doesn't elaborate further on why he thinks that, but he turns
Why
to you.
is that?
Because she's more likely that you come back.
Not only that, Compan, he puts his kind of pudgy fingers together nervously. I'll admit this isn't going the way I thought it was going to go. I suppose all of you keep finding ways to surprise me. He smiles. And he looks to you, Greylog. I was told by a mutual friend of ours about the situation you're in, and I was hoping to help you out. Way I hear it, you have a debt to square with the nature spirits. That right?
Nature spirits and Lady Hell.
He gives a broad smile at this. Well, this mutual friend of ours, he pauses before. A mutually trusted source told me that if you go through with this, your debt with both will be cleared, if you're willing to take the plunge. I was hoping you'd do it yourself. I don't know how the nature spirits are going to feel about it if I just tell you, but I can at least promise you it'll get you out of your debt with Hela.
Well, I already left the staff behind, which is one of the biggest reasons. But I would like to get past my debt with Lady Hela. So I am, as I said earlier, more than willing to do this.
All right. You don't need to do anything for the process to work. Just rest and clean yourself up. Once you're all ready, come find me. I'll be in the wing of the museum that's labeled the Dante Clan.
Understood.
Wow. I guess, I wonder what Greylog's going to want for his, I guess, last meal.
Ollie kind of pops a grin at this as well. And yeah, mate. What are you thinking for your last meal on this mortal coil?
A scaly dragonborn by the name of Asari should suffice.
I'm all yours.
Abaven just hang on. I got the perfect gift for it.
I'm not going to be going into potential full death a virgin.
Oh. No.
I got a gift for Abaven's reaction. Did y'all get it?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm looking.
Is the head flap.
Yeah.
Young
Yeah.
love. Gross. Well, gather anyone you think you can trust. I'm sure the villagers will be more than happy to host us, given our circumstances, and all of you and those you trust can stay at the museum. As I said, you may observe, but do not touch anything. These things are more powerful than any of you understand. These are not toys.
And I'm sure this is when you also say, if you touch anything, I will know.
He gives a bit of a shrug, and I've seen what all of you accomplish with much lesser artifacts. I will know because you'll probably end up blowing up my house.
And I'm guessing you lose the hand you touch it with.
Most likely, but that won't be my fault. He looks up at the night sky and squints. I'll have to power through the night to prepare the ritual. Not my first time. Dawn, you're welcome to stay with us as well. Thank you for your hospitality. And it would be an honor to observe some of your curios. It's been a long time since I visited. Did you ever figure out what... Not here.
Still
By the
more
way,
secrets.
I was meaning to ask. Sorry. I started talking and then everyone else started talking.
Yeah, Dr. Sernatural raises a hand to you with a nod of Aben, and looks to you, Greylog. This is unrelated. A personal project.
No worries. I was just being facetious.
He gives again another small, awkward grin and turns back to you, Aben. You were saying?
One more thing I was gonna ask. Have you ever tested this machine?
Not myself, but I know the process, as I said. I can replicate it easily.
But are you certain you know the exact process that was used before?
Have I given you any reason to doubt my fundamental genius?
Oh, you know what I believe back home they have a saying about, they have many stories about the folly of hubris.
Because hubris isn't earned. I'm not cocky. I'm simply aware of who I am.
Could there be a way to demonstrate it? Could it revive, like, I don't know, a lab rat?
He
Expensive
kind of
rat.
stares at you for a moment before looking to the Dawn, who kind of smiles guiltily. I will admit that they are not the most trusting bunch, but I will be more than happy to compensate you, Dr. Shenatral. Very well. If you insist, we'll test it first.
If you're going to put one of our team members under the knife, we want to be certain this is going to work.
I think the problem is that it's very, very costly. Thousands of gold process.
Tens or thousands.
Yeah, he said what, 25,000 gold at least for one supply.
Ingredient. For the entire recipe, I'd need far more. 50,000 easily. But
I think I'm willing to risk. It's like if that's what it's going to take to get the book, I think it's worth the risk. A good sign of faith that we believe in what we're doing.
understood.
If you wish to put yourself on the line like that. Though, I think I might speak for a good chunk of this party, except for Alfred. He has his own. He doesn't believe in stuff like this. But if this doesn't work, you're going in after him.
You can try. But luckily it won't come to that. The spirits will be proud of you, Mr. Orchin.
I
Gather
hope
your
so.
allies and your resources. I'll unlock the museum for you. Find me at the temple. I'll meet you at the entrance hall, give you a small tour, and then start working on the ritual. You're all free to stay in the guest rooms, and you may peruse the various articles at your leisure, but as I said, touch nothing.
Understood.
With that, rather than disembarking with the rest of the passengers, he simply hops out of the open passenger car too, and hands in his pockets, wanders off into the village, leaving you all alone with your comrades and the Don. The Don tips his hat to all of you and finally simply takes it off entirely, holding it in front of his chest in a demure display of respect as he bows his head. I apologize once again for the deception, but understand I had a promise to keep to a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Orchin.
More than fair. You do not want to, cross her.
I never said it was a her.
Well, as far as who I'm having to go ask.
He simply gives you a smile and does not respond, but I appreciate your forgiveness, Mr. Orchin, but I do not expect it from the rest of you.
Just so you know, I meant what I said to him.
And he meant what he said to you, but I have faith in him. He's never let me down. I've only ever seen the man fail once, and that was when he was going up against someone who was as smart as he was.
Who is that?
That's a long story. I'll tell you about it on the way sometime. In the meantime, I'll give you all some privacy.
Was it that guy in Perugia? I hear he's pretty smart.
In his own way, but like I said, long story. He puts his hat back on, and I will go with my daughter and Vinny, and we'll head to the museum. You all take your time to see the sights of the village, and whenever you're ready, we'll be waiting for you there. I think you'll like some of the curios Dr. Shinatral has to offer. He's been all over the world, you know. Very well traveled, very smart guy. And with that, he
I
gives
guess
a
we'll
bow.
see, won't we?
He gives you a smile, and thank you, all of you. Thanks to you, I can return safely to my daughter and my family, and you are taking a heavy burden off my shoulders. I'm not worthy of something like the complete chronology of time. I've been misusing it, I think. I think you all will make better use of it than a tortage rat like myself.
Oh no. The city seems to be doing fairly well.
Everything comes at a cost, my friend. Everything comes at a cost. And
That
with
it
that,
does.
he turns and heads into passenger car 1 to find his daughter, leaving all of you alone with Anna and Ollie. And Alfred, you see your brothers making their way past the Dawn to approach you. Sorry, we haven't been in touch. We've been busy. Our contact should be in the village if we want to go find him.
Yeah, don't want him to go by himself. Not if he has to.
We told them not to do anything until we got there. They complained about it like always, but... And Bailout gives a shrug. But they'll live.
I guess we could at least talk to them, see what their side of the story. See what they have to offer.
All right. I told them to meet us in the dark wood behind the cathedral.
Alright, let's get going.
Let's go meet first Lucian.
Yeah.
I was like,
Could be interesting.
I never said it was reverse Lucian.
Yeah, it could be a reverse Lucifer for all we know.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Lucifer.
it would make sense.
Yeah, in our universe, he's a failure of a necromancer, and that one he must be a success.
I guess we'll have to go find
All right. If you're all on board, let's go. We're already running late, but if there's no alarms, then that means they didn't act on their own to get it. They might still be waiting for us.
Alright, lead the way.
Bailout gives a nod and hops off of the wreckage. Anna looks to Ollie and to the rest of you and what should we do?
I mean, this was your idea. You want to come?
Yeah. How about you all? And just Ollie holds up her hand and shakes her head. I am not looking forward to whatever's about to happen. I don't like the idea of Greylog lying in a coffin and having his throat cut by a wannabe detective, but I like the idea of bringing one of you back as a zombie even less.
I have to kind of agree with that, but it's good to have options. If they are capable of a perfect revival, then it wouldn't be as big of an issue. But if they can't demonstrate that, then I'm not entirely convinced by this machine either. I would have liked to have seen it tested, but if Greylog's willing to take the chance anyways...
That's why I'm willing to meet with this necromancer. At least get some options.
Ollie kind of gives a shrug. In that case, I'm going hunting. I'm starving.
Oh, well, we're in a city. Why don't we get some actually already caught cooked food?
Well, maybe she's just restless. Let her do what she wants.
She gives a smile. To be honest, I was kind of looking forward to hunting Hellpig.
Maybe
Well, if this works out, we can hunt it afterwards.
All right, I can agree to that. But I'm still not coming with you to meet this whatever they are.
Nah, definitely not.
I'll explore the village once we get some food.
Maybe find us a nice bathhouse.
Yeah, I'll take a look around. I suppose, well, this place isn't exactly huge. You guys should be able to find me easily enough.
the maid's gonna say to the others, I think I'll... It's been a little while. It's been a while since me and Ollie have had some time to talk, so I think I'll leave it up to you guys. I trust you. Just my suggestion is if they claim they can do a complete revival, make them prove it first.
Alright.
Oh yeah, never trust the necromancer.
Cheers to that!
That needs to be a t-shirt.
Anna gives a thorough nod of enthusiasm. I don't trust necromancers as far as I can throw them, but I trust the Dawn and the detective even less.
What makes you so sure that this one is alright?
Honestly, nothing. But the Dawn's a criminal, Dr. Ko.
Necromancy's not?
Her face kind of scrunches, and crimes against nature are different.
And even technically, we've all done things to be classified as criminals at this point.
Yeah, but we're doing it for a good cause. The Dawn's just an asshole.
We're assholes.
Yeah, we're all assholes here, one way or another.
Did Ollie leave yet?
Yeah, she's like on her way. She's like basically just hopping off the train and heading off into
Alright,
the village.
Abaven's gonna go with her.
All right. But as you're walking away, you can just catch the tail end of Anna being like, "What the fuck happened during the train ride to make you guys like him all of a sudden?"
Words of exchange, that's all.
Can I
As-
have Abaven say on his way out? Honestly, people say the same thing about the pirates, but some of them were amenable.
Oh, peaches.
Yeah, that's why we don't have an artifact to show for our troubles.
That one was an asshole.
Oh, so we just kind of play a little bit of Yavik roulette and hope we get lucky.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Alright, let's go meet a necromancer.
All right.
Alright, then Abaven will join Ollie.
All right. As the party parts ways, welcome to Ahdeen. An isolated village of the Kingdom of Autumnfall. Overlooking the Darkwood Bay and surrounded by the Darkwoods themselves. The village is on a very hilly terrain with sharp elevation changes. A few trees from the Darkwood dotting the landscape. As you all split up and head your respective directions into the village, you see that the village itself is pretty small, only a few buildings, and you can see that a good chunk of them appear to be under construction or have been recently destroyed. You can see a few fields of farmland growing various squashes, cabbages, garlics, and grapes, berry bushes, marrows, and wheats. Others are empty and appear to be under construction, judging by tools you can see dotting them. Asari, you can smell the baking of a bakery, and you see a few outdoor ovens being used. Greylog, you can see fruit, fish, and furs being stored in baskets around houses. And Alfred, you're able to see in the distance where Vaben's heading a barn of animals on a stretch of flat land where the terrain is even. Tree coverage protects the village as well as its terrain, making it difficult for bandits to make their way in, especially unseen and quickly. Darkwood Lake flows at the shores, a wooden bridge crossing the lake for fishing, although you don't see anybody fishing at the moment. And on the outskirts, on either side of the train station where the rest of the passengers are disembarking, you see a windmill on one side and a defensive tower on the other. Vaben, you catch glimpses of racks showing bones and skins and leathers of apparently successful hunts in the Darkwood. As you make your way deeper, Avaben, you follow Ollie, who kind of looks around at the village considering, and eventually, people seem nice enough. The place itself looks like shit, though.
Well, not every place can be as nice as back home, right? Kind of laughing a little bit.
She smiles and gives a nod. Truth to that. Well, I suppose we need to see if there's anything good to eat around here. Doesn't look like anybody's fishing, although I was getting pretty tired of fish.
To be honest, if I don't see another fish for a while, it'll be too soon.
What? You don't want a steamed fish?
Well, I suppose we'll just ask someone if we can have a little bit of what's on the racks.
If needed, I can buy some.
And indeed, as you approach the racks of various hanging skins and leathers, you do see a nearby merchant offering the actual meat of the slaughtered animals, which he offers to all of you as well. 5 silvers for a handful of hell pig meat! Ah, tits!
What?
She starts like rifling through her pockets before you can hear her start swearing under her breath in Elvish. Ah, fuck. Ave, can you spot me?
I should be able to very easily. Do you need me? Do you need to borrow some money?
No, like I said, I usually hunt for food. Never needed it before.
Well, just in case I'm not around, I'll get it this time, and you can have some. He'll give her like 100 gold. Since you say you don't use it a lot, I'm not gonna inundate you with it. So,
Don't let you all's dad hear that you're carrying this much around. You're sweet, thanks. She holds out a gold piece to the merchant with a wide grin. 2, please.
oops, I accidentally added 100 gold. So let me take away 200 then.
She hands you a cloth-wrapped hunk of hell pig pork, and as you all begin walking further into the village, just kind of surveying the lake and taking
We
in the
gotta
sight.
find somewhere to roast it.
Well, the meat's already cooked. They're just
Oh,
basically
okay.
selling it wrapped. Remember that one hell pig is enough to feed 1,000 people, so they're selling it pretty cheap. Well, all things considered, worse places. And I guess if I was looking for a magic book, this probably would be one of the last places I'd check.
Well, apparently it's in the underworld.
That would be the second last place I'd check. She gives a bit of a smirk. Your friends are crazy. Can't believe they're willing to go through with something like this.
Well, it's the nature of it. It seems none of these can be simple.
Well, I guess if they were simple, everyone would be taking them, including the boomergangers.
Yeah, I'm still worried about that.
Yeah. What's your plan? This is, if I remember right, this is the last one, right?
The last one that nobody has, they still have, I think, 2 of them?
If I remember right, yeah. Assuming we pull this off, I know the archaeologists want to go after the boomergangers, take the last 2 from them. But knowing you, I think you'd rather just put the items in a box, throw it in the ocean, and forget about it, right? She gives you a smirk.
Well, the gods are gonna need the items back eventually, so I doubt they'd be very happy if we did that, but
They can have Poseidon get them out or whatever.
we could certainly hold on to them, but I have a feeling the boomergangers will take the choice from us.
She bites her lip. Yeah.
I highly doubt they're gonna give up their little crusade. They're simply letting us get the rest of them so they know where they are.
We've done the hard part for them.
Well, what they think is going to be the hardest part.
I hope so. Honestly, I hope all of this is going to be as easy as you seem to think it is.
Oh, for this group, maybe, but I don't. I heard you talking to Alfred.
Fuck. You always were a sneaky little bastard.
It's probably the blood.
You know I don't believe in that sort of thing. Look, it's not that I don't trust you. It's what you said really messed you all up. And he thinks you're just going to leave him behind. Like he can't take care of himself. I don't know what happened out there, but
He almost died.
you almost died.
Yes, that is a regular occurrence, but it's not regular for him. He always lived in the village.
We can help you. We want to help you. You want to just go home and never know if you're going to make it back in one piece? Hope that your cocky ass attitude that you can take on the world doesn't get you killed? Not
I
gonna
would,
happen.
I would rather, if that attitude does get me killed, it doesn't get you two killed along with me. And what I realized is I can't protect you both.
You don't need to protect us.
You saw what we were fighting. Do you honestly think you all could take something like that? I couldn't even do it.
That's why you need help.
I mean, there's the others. I wouldn't be alone.
Oh, you think you can crew the breaker with 5 people?
But come on, you know it's different.
It's really not.
To me, it is.
A lot of things are different to you. But your family, Aben. I know you feel like you have something you need to prove to us, but you don't. Not to me and not to him. Not to the people who matter. We knew what we were getting into. We knew it was going to be dangerous. I thought we were going to die when that pirate hunter attacked our ship. I thought we were going to die on that God's forsaken island, and I thought we were going to die on that train. But we didn't. And even if something happened to us, look
I
at
can't.
Alfred. Look at Greylog. Dr. Koo. They'd be able to help us. Honestly, at this point, you'd have a harder time getting rid of us even if you wanted us gone. She gives a bit of a smirk.
What if something happens to them?
Then we're fucked either way. If you die out there because we weren't there to help you, because you didn't have an extra pair of hands who could have helped you, do you think the Boomer Gangers are just going to stop? Whatever's behind that door, if the Elder's words are true, we're dead anyway. They're going to bring back the King of Beasts. He's going to give them more weapons like that cannon they brought into our forest, and we're all going to die. The only difference is we'll be helpless instead of helping. And I'd rather die on my feet than die on my knees.
I can't lose you two.
And we can't lose you. You're not 2 hands on either side of a body. We're a Triforce, the 3 of us. Always have been. You all's the thinker. I'm the doer. And you're the one who can do a little bit of both. Even if you prefer to err on the doing side. She gives a bit of a smirk.
It is much simpler.
I'll give you that. But this isn't the woods anymore. This isn't animals. This is... We're punching above our weight. This is gods and demons, curses and necromancers, and I don't even understand what it is we're after. But I'm here to help you because I may not be smart enough to understand why we're doing what we do, but I trust you and I trust you all. I trust your friends. I know you'll all keep me safe as long as I keep you safe.
I can't guarantee that.
But you can't guarantee your safety either. So, is that really what you want? Us to just go home and wait to die? Hope that you succeed and come back in one piece and pray that they didn't just kill you, take the items off your body, unlock the door and unleash whatever's behind it? We stood up against them to help you. That means they're going to come after us first. It's too late for us to back out, even if we did want to. But like it or not, we give just as much of a shit about you as you give about us. Love's a two-way street. You're going to have to accept that. We're done letting you do this bullshit by yourself. You don't have anything to prove to us.
I don't know what I'm going to do. After what I saw this time, I'm going to be thinking about it every time.
And you think
It's
we don't?
It's going to... Having you around, I'm going to be scared constantly. Because I'm going to be worried about you two.
And you'd rather both of us be scared instead? You fucking coward. You'd rather us quake in the village so that you don't have to? Is that what you've come to?
Maybe it... I'm sorry. Maybe it just would have been best if I died in that forest. Didn't bring all this to you two.
You didn't bring us anything. Except for a sweet kid who grew up in a shit situation that he didn't deserve, but is doing his level best to not be an asshole to everyone. Besides, let's face it, your death wouldn't have made the world better. You can believe that all you want, but it's the truth. You didn't make the decision to put the key down there. You didn't make the decision to work with the boomergangers. You didn't bring a cannon into our forest. The only thing that you dying out there would have changed is we would have had one less person protecting us. Honestly, if you hadn't been there, we probably would have just killed your friends when we saw them. You've done enough. Share the burden. Nobody hunts alone. And we're hunting a lot more than hell pigs here. But if it's really what you want, if you just can't bear being afraid, then fine. We'll go home. But I am never going to forgive you for it. You all probably will, but he's going to remember it for the rest of his life. And we have a lot of life to live, Aben.
If either of you died, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself.
That's what friends are for. Your friends figuring out how to bring back the dead. Heck, if this plan of yours works, we might already have a way out. And besides, if something happens to you, we're dead anyway. I'd rather see it coming. But think whatever you want. It's not me you have to worry about. Being on this adventure with you is the happiest he's been in a long time. I hope you remember that. And with that, she walks ahead of you.
What if we all just went home? Then I could protect our home myself.
Are you stupid?
I mean, if I have one of the items and, well, hid it, they wouldn't be able to find it. They wouldn't be able to open the door.
And you think they're just going to give up?
Well, all we have to do is make sure they can't find it long enough for the gods to come back from their little thing. They'll take their items back and they'll be out of their reach again.
You're underestimating humans. Humans are different than us, Avaben. They don't let shit like this go. You can put it as far out of their reach as you want. And yet, you may even succeed. We've been fighting the Bretonnians long enough for you to understand the concept of revenge.
But what would stop them from seeking it if we defeat them here? It's not like we're going to kill every single one of them.
I beg to differ.
There are bound to be some of their members that will survive.
So you'd rather fight an army of them united than a few stragglers? You really think your friends can do this without you?
They seem to think so.
That's not what they told me. She sighs and finally turns back to look at you. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Nobody here resents you for what you are. You're a dark elf, so what? You were left in the woods by your shitty mom. Who cares? You're not the dark elf kid in the woods anymore. You're a Vaben fucking Aglatha, one of the best goddamn sharpshooters I've ever seen, who's fought monsters and stolen the items of gods, fought weapons that we can't even understand and live to tell about it. You're fighting alongside royalty and doctors and whatever the fuck Greylog is. You have to stop looking in the mirror and seeing what you are and start seeing who you are. Maybe then you'll finally start looking at your face instead of your ass.
The problem isn't... My worry isn't myself. My worry is these things. My worry is things that you and you all have never had to face.
And you have?
Well, I'm facing them now.
And so are we. Because we're here with you.
Fine. You can keep coming. But let's be honest, does you all have to be right in the thick of it?
We're not asking to fight in the battles with you. But the least you can do is let us be there. Whatever we decide to do with the keys, whatever we decide to do once we get home, we need to decide this as a team. And you all wants to be a part of that. He's always wanted to be a part of history. For people to remember him as more than just the bratty scion of some elvish lord of some nowhere village. And he wants to be there with you in the history books. No matter what happens to us, bards are going to be singing about what we do here for ages. It's not your call to leave us out of the song. We'll hang back. We'll play it safe, but we're not leaving. If the little flower girl gets to tag along, I think it's only fair we get to.
The flower girl.
Anna.
Wasn't she like absent for most of the adventures?
Only a couple of them. She actually did tag along for a chunk of them. Besides, if we went home and you realize almost unprompted that your wanderings have taken you to the abandoned docks on Darkwood Lake. And she takes a seat at the edge of the pier and pats the spot next to her and looks down in the pitch black water reflecting the night sky.
I guess the baby will sit.
It's been nice getting to see more than just the forest. Where else am I going to get a view like this?
Well, I guess when this is all over and well, I mean, I guess when it's all over, assuming we've won, otherwise it's all moot point.
Yeah, not much point planning for that. Think it's out of our hands then.
If you like being away so much, maybe we don't have to necessarily go back right away.
I'd like that. 3 of us traveling the world, not having to fight monsters the whole time. Sounds
Well,
fun.
knowing the world, and they'll probably find their way to us anyways.
Well, then I suppose it'll be good that we're there to meet them.
Besides, if this adventure has taught us anything, we probably will have a hard time staying out of other people's problems.
You got me there.
I'm sure if we travel the world, we'll run into someone being robbed or something, and we'll have to swoop in like heroes.
Oh yeah, real Robin Hoods, the 3 of us.
You joke, but you act like we don't have a sense of honor.
Maybe you do. Chief smirks.
It seems the two of you have shown a propensity to want to follow me where I go, so.
Yep, that's the thing about having friends. They're hard to shake. Little tag nuts. Besides, do you really want to do this without us?
I like having you here. It was
That's
just,
all I care about.
I was so worried and seeing him so close to.
Close, but he didn't make it. Or, well, guess that's the wrong way to put it. You get my point. Besides, let's be real. Knowing you all, even if he had died there, he'd probably talk his way out of Valhalla.
Possibly. I do know if that had happened, I definitely wouldn't have been able to return home. His father probably would have had me shot.
Yeah, probably, but who knows? Things changed back home. Maybe they'll keep changing. And I hope we both make it to see if that sticks. Hey,
Well,
look at Dr. Ku. If there's hope for the Bretonians, maybe there's hope for us.
I'm just glad if I do get through this, I'll definitely prove I can help us with. Might be able to be a big help with the Bretonians one day. Maybe that'll be my next chapter.
Sounds fun. She puts an arm around your shoulder, and you both stare out onto the dark lake as your companions make their way to a small graveyard behind the cathedral turned museum, the underworld of which guises the complete chronology of time. The final of the free keys. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yay! D&D. I gotta get going though.
Okay, well, real quick, I'll do my usual check-ins before you do. Did you have fun?
I did.
Are we?
Any
Did
complaints?
Austin end the stream?
Not yet. It's just since he's leaving early, I'm doing it now. So just any complaints?
No, I don't have any complaints.
All right. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. Go get some sleep, bud. In the
Okay,
meantime,
bye.
bye-bye. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer, about to meet a filthy necromancer.
I wonder if
Glad
it
I
would
finally get to use that one.
I wonder if it would break reality to meet your mirror self.
Actually, it doesn't, although it's very, very rare for that to happen.
Because that's so far we know the only way to get to it.
Yeah, and if you cross it, then they would just cross to go to the other side. So you would just switch places. But anyway, check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. Support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get your podcast from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions. Check out Odd Tornado Productions' YouTube channel to catch up on episodes you may have missed. We'll be resuming updates over the following weeks. And check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Paladins Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AustinFreak123. Currently doing a playthrough of Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Gross stuff. Watch it. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link to be posted in chat. On Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/oddtornadoproductions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd. The TNO are in fact capitalized to catch up on anything you may have missed. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in tomorrow, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, for our Tuesday game of Black Ink and Blue Blood, featuring a party of politicians and nobles trying to unravel a political conspiracy if they can stop stabbing each other in the back long enough. Thanks, everyone at the table, so much for playing. Thanks, everyone at home, so much for watching. And we'll see you all, and all of you, next week.